Hey, my name is Limbo. Welcome to my review. This is why I like the finals. Honestly, I don't even know where to really start with this review. I will say that when I first started playing the finals, it didn't even really catch my attention. I thought it was a cool game. It looked really great, but I didn't really understand it or get just how great it really was. The movement system is, wow, it is just absolutely crazy. I came from a game called Escape from Tarkov, and I've got way too many hours in that game to begin with. I got somewhere around like 8,000 hours, and honestly, I didn't think anything would ever hold a candle to it. The finals really just kind of drew me in, and the more and more I played, the more and more I want to make a review on it. It's one of those games that has the perfect amount of movement and what feels like, for the most part, balance. There is a couple issues with it. There's a couple problems, but we'll get into that a little bit later on. I just wanted to kind of praise this game to begin with, and then move on from there. You're just here for just a casual take on the game. I think that the finals is worth at least trying. If you're a big FPS fan, or like if you're a W keyer in Escape from Tarkov, I think that the finals is honestly just a really solid choice if you want to give it a go. But if you're here for more of a meaty review, I'm going to go into depth with a lot of things. Hope that at least you get something out of it, whether you're a veteran or you're brand new to the game. The battle pass in the finals is pretty decently priced. You get a lot for it. It's nowhere near as egregious or money hungry as some games like Apex Legends and maybe Overwatch. You get a lot of bang for your buck here. You get a lot of different skins that you can customize any way you want. You get trinkets, stickers, animations, and skins that are not only for your character, but your gadgets and weapons too. The nice part about this game is that you can pretty much customize everything. You don't just have to throw in a skin and feel super satisfied with it. You can if you want, because most of the sets are pretty great looking, but you can customize your drip and make yourself look unique. That's a big selling point for me personally. You can really make your character your own. You have so much customization in this game, it's actually mind-blowing. Something I never thought I'd see in a game like this. Very in-depth, and I'm pleasantly surprised about it. I also wanted to just touch on the content of the game. They've been releasing updates at a pretty steady rate, and I'm a huge fan of this. Specifically with the addition of Season 2, the game has felt like it's kind of popped off a little bit. Since I've started playing, I've participated in 2 events so far. Events, they're not really a rare thing. They seem like they're constantly going on, usually around holidays, but you get free items from them, and everyone is kind of locked to a certain loadout. You get a little bit of wiggle room, but for the most part, it seems like everyone's kind of running the same thing. Hopefully they continue with this trend of content and putting it out at a steady rate, because I really hate being drip-fed content. Really bad practice, and I honestly really hope it dies out pretty soon. The gameplay of the finals is pretty wild and open-ended. There's not really a huge meta that I've noticed, but everything has a counter for the most part, and when you start solo queuing, that becomes an issue. If you're not good enough to carry your team, you're at a pretty heavy disadvantage. It's also kind of an issue in like every single game, so it's not really a massive issue for the finals. That being said, the communication in this game is pretty good. Only been a handful of times where I've had to mute the in-game chat because there's some nasty language being thrown my way. When it comes to the game modes in the finals, there's cash out, bank it, power shift, and quick cash. Personally, my favorite is quick cash, and that's what's played in ranked. So if you really want to rise through the ranks, you've got to get decent at that game mode. I think out of everything, my favorite part of the game is definitely the movement and destructibility. I can run around like a crackhead in this game and feel like I'm making an impact in the game without hurting my team. You need to adapt to every situation, and you can be humbled pretty quickly by someone that has better movement than you. Movement is king. Ranked feels like a completely different beast. The finals approaches it in a really weird way, but a really weird, good kind of way. You know what I mean? I don't really know what my actual ranked KD is, but these are my stats based off the last 60 hours I've played the game. I'm not going to get crazy in depth with ranked because honestly I'm still pretty new to it and I'm only sitting at silver. I haven't really dipped my toe into the water and I definitely haven't fully submerged myself. Ranked is tournament style quick cash mode where they split the lobby into 16 teams and every round 2 teams are knocked out, and this continues until the very last round where it's just you and another team. You also have limited revive tokens and you lose a lot of money when your team is wiped. Very different compared to a regular match. Don't worry though, because you can practice your ranked matches with the normal tournament mode. It's nowhere near what ranked is actually like, but you have a lot of people who will just randomly disconnect and never come back. Most of the time you're just kind of left with a completely imbalanced team and you just get steamrolled, but at least, you know, it's there as a tool. That being said, communication and strategy are wildly different in ranked. I've never seen so many teams just sit around and wait for another team to cash out and take it the very last second. There's a lot of people that do that kind of thing, and it's honestly a really effective strategy in ranked. You'll also see enemies litter your teammates' trophies with landmines and turrets, pretty much camping your bodies and hoping for a team wipe. I'm not sure if it's just me or if other people have had the same experience, but third parties in the finals feel kind of weird. And I know I might be going crazy, but sometimes it feels like teams are working together even though they're completely random. If you ever felt like that before, let me know in the comments down below. My final thoughts on the ranked mode in the finals. It's good, but I'm kind of scared to improve and climb through the ranks. I've heard from a couple different people that once you hit gold and plat, you start seeing a lot more cheaters in the game. Sometimes it feels like someone's cheating, but you can never really tell unless they're rage hacking because of the simple fact that there is no kill cam. If they had a kill cam, you'd definitely be able to tell if someone's actually cheating or not. Regardless, that's a topic for another day and I don't really want to dive into it. So you made it to the end of the video. This is where things start to get a little bit negative about the finals, but not too negative. I don't have an endless pit of gripes with the finals. It's mainly just weapons and abilities that I find kind of overpowered and broken. I'm sure that'll change when I get more time with the game, but specifically with ranked mode, it's just how I feel. Approaching this subject and structuring it is kind of strange, so bear with me while I struggle just a little bit. The classes in this game, for the most part, feel pretty balanced. Like compared to the other classes, feels a little bit overpowered, but at the same time, they don't have a lot of health and they're meant to be that fast-moving, everything is on the line if you mess up type of class. That being said though, they do have some broken gadgets and abilities, specifically the stun gun and invisibility. Every time I get killed by a stun gun in the game, it makes me want to break my keyboard. It affects literally everything you do, and I don't know if they can put the gadget on a longer cooldown or maybe reduce the amount of time it affects you, but regardless, something needs to be done. It's so bad to the point where I wouldn't even be opposed to completely removing it from the game. Same thing with invisibility bomb. It's really cool for ambushing, but I'm not a huge fan of the light class being able to have 2 invisibility things at once. Seems kind of busted and makes the game unfun when you have to deal with that kind of thing constantly. I almost wish that the finals had like a ranked mode or a draft mode where you could just ban certain weapons and gadgets. Like, it's something that League of Legends has, but it'd be a little bit more polished. I'm not sure if they're working on something like that or they could even implement it, but it feels like it would balance out a lot of the problems the game has. Another weapon that seems to be kind of busted is the goo gun, but that seems like it'd be a really simple change that they can make. pretty strong right now. Anyone you want to really stop, you can literally just hit them with goo, and they're basically just stuck there until you either push them or one of their teammates comes to help them. Maybe they could give it a limited amount of shots in the gun. It's an ability after all, so I don't really think it'd be that hard to do. I also hope at some point they had a reconnect button. I mean, we're in 2024, so I feel like every game at this point should have a reconnect button. I feel like if you disconnect from a game, you shouldn't be punished just because you have a bad internet connection. One of the last gripes that I can think of for the game is snipers. They're kind of an issue, but they're not really a massive issue. And every game kind of has that kind of a problem, right? It's gotten so bad to the point where if I'm playing power shift with my friends on Monaco, we literally just grab heavies and sledgehammers for the first couple minutes and we just take down the church just so we can reduce the amount of snipers that are on the map. Not a huge gripe and you can counter it, but I thought I'd just mention it. In closing, I really like the finals, and I hope that at some point in the future it really does blow up because it deserves it. It's a really good game for what it is, and it has a bright future ahead of it. If you enjoyed the content or got anything out of this video, make sure you leave a comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next review.